Hello! So today I'm going to be making yakisoba. The girls are going to be home soon. Judy's going to get home soon. This is one of their favorite meals to have. I'm going to cook it for dinner tonight, so I thought I would show you. First off, we've got all the ingredients right here. Very basic. This is like the original. I've got my protein, which is just a New York strip steak cut thin. I've got my carrots, onions, cabbage. That's it. I also will be using some mushrooms for Judy because she does like mushrooms. Obviously, all of this is optional. I'm just using packaged yakisoba today. This is a fresh noodle, so I don't have to cook it. You can get the dry stuff. That's what I normally use. It looks like ramen noodles, but you have to cook it or boil it halfway through. So let's go ahead and get going. Neutrally, are we all good over there? All right, sweet. Neutrally is taking care of the live stream. Feel free to add some questions in the comment area if you have some. One thing that's really important with yakisoba, make sure you have the right pan. You can use a frying pan, but I prefer using a wok because it gets everything really burning hot. So I'm going to go ahead and get that warmed up. All right, while that's warming up, another thing that's important, make sure you have all your ingredients ready. It's called mise en place because this is a very fast process. The only thing I'm missing is water. I probably don't even need it, but I got everything opened up. Another thing too, noodles out of the package. Even the flavor packet today that I'm using, I got it in a little bowl. Bam. Usually feel free to just tell me if you want me to show something, okay? All right, so I'm getting this nice and hot. Normally I'd have the fan on, but I don't want this messing up the audio because it will get smoky in here. I like to cook this outside. I have a new grill outside and it's got a little burner on the side. So normally I would do that, but for today's live stream, we're doing it inside. For the oil, I like to use animal fat. I'm using pork fat today from Epic. It's already getting really hot. If you're using raw meat, you want to cook that first to make sure that is cooked thoroughly. And don't worry, I did wash my hands. Yeah, so there you go. It's getting really hot. While I'm cooking, I'm not going to be able to talk very much. So just letting you guys know that. I've got it on the highest setting at this point. As you can see, this is very, very hot. I don't use a lot of salt in this, but I will salt and pepper this meat once. And then I will add a little bit of salt later to the vegetables. But not very much because there's a lot of salt in the flavor packet. Everything focused? So before I completely cook the protein, I do start adding my vegetables. Always start with whatever is going to take the longest to cook. In this case, it's going to be carrots. And I never lower the heat too. I just always have it on high. One thing I'll tell you about cooking with a frying pan, depending on your stove, it can actually make it hotter because it's a flat surface, especially if it's electric. If you've got electric, it's almost impossible to use a wok. All right, next, onions. One of the questions people ask is, can you use any kind of vegetable? You basically can. I like to use whatever I have left over in the fridge or whatever I need to use up. My suggestion though is cut it nice and thin. If you cut it into strips like this or julienne it, it helps to grab onto the noodles better. Normally I don't have my cabbage cut so thin. The reason I have this is because we used it for cabbage salad yesterday. I like to have it a little thicker, but it's not gonna hurt. And like I said, it's gonna grab onto everything when you grab it with that chopstick. And because that cabbage is shredded so thin, I won't even need to cook it for too long. So at this point, what I like to do is take one of those noodle packets, kind of break it up a little bit. I guess I will need a little bit of water. And then what I like to do is get a little cover like this. I actually drilled holes in it so it would release some of the steam. I'm just gonna to steam everything just for a hot second. Another thing I'm doing today that I normally don't is I'm gonna use my teriyaki sauce. This is called tare. It's really for yakitori, like grilled chicken. It's gonna add a lot of flavor. So I don't do this for very long, just maybe for 30, 60 seconds. Like I said, just to break everything up, heat up the noodles. I'm gonna go ahead and stir fry everything so it's nice and hot. There we go. So at this point, we're done. You just need to add the flavor, which I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna add all of the flavor packet because I'm adding some of my teriyaki sauce to it. Not very much. Still on super high heat. One reason I love yakisoba, it's a great way to incorporate vegetables into your meal, and the kids love it. I don't know why, it's just, maybe it tastes really good, maybe it's because it's cut real thin. I think it's just because it's delicious. There we go. That's basically done. How many minutes was that usually? 8 minutes, so yeah. Usually doesn't even take that long. Turn off the heat. All right. I've never done this, so let's hope nothing burns. There you go. Nice. Oh yeah. Should get one of the girls to come down here and do a taste test. Kira, you want to try this? It's really hot though, okay? So be careful. Okay, one thing you got to do is have your water on high when you're washing your wok. Do you want to grab a fork and a bowl? By the way, we're live on YouTube. Did you know that? I know. Okay. Right here. Go ahead, grab some. Oh, well, I'm gonna make more right now. Excuse me. So this is a little tool. Are we wide right now? Right here. I don't know what it's called, but this is what you need to get. If you go to a Japanese grocery store, whatever this is, get this to wash your woks, okay? It's made out of bamboo or something. How do you like it? You want to tell the camera over there? All right, so Kira approved. Go tell your sisters if they're hungry to come over here. What's that? Oh, yeah. Go ask Juliana. She's still reading? Okay. Always want to clean your wok between dishes. Well, I just didn't want to use it while I'm live right now. All right, here we go. Let's do one more. I'm going to do the mushroom version. You know, one thing that's cool about mushrooms, you can totally use it as a protein replacement. Yeah, it's a soft one. It's not the dry one. But these are dried mushrooms that I rehydrated this morning for my pizza. And I had some leftovers, so I'm just going to throw in there. I am going to add some beef with this, but I thought Judy might like some mushroom because she loves mushrooms. I'm going to cook those mushrooms up because they're a little gnarly from just being dried for so long, so it needs a little bit of heat. All right, let's go one more session. Any questions mutually that I can answer right now?
Someone had asked, what is the most important thing to make the best yakisoba?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think number one is definitely ingredients, but close number two is high heat. One reason people use a wok is because, all the heat comes up the sides. What's that? It's over there. But high heat is very important. That's why a flat frying pan totally works. There you go. So that's a good question. But yeah, good ingredients, high heat. That's what I would say. Because if it's not high heat, you're not going to get that searing that's so important for any kind of like stir-fried dish. I'm going to go ahead and add the mushrooms. I think Judy's going to love that. Yeah. Sure.
Someone had asked, is there something non-traditional that you like to add to make it better?
Oh, something non-traditional. I guess mushrooms for Judy. You know, I like it traditional because that's the way I grew up, but can't think of any other ingredients that is non-traditional that I add in there. One thing we do is we like to put a little bit of mayonnaise. I know it sounds weird, but Japanese Kewpie mayonnaise right on top as we're eating it, just a little bit. The reason I do that is because there's an instant yakisoba that you cook up like ramen, what is that? Cup of noodles, and they have a little mayo packet in there. So I thought, oh, why not? So we do that.
Brandy Daniel asks, if you don't have a wok, can you use a cast iron?
Totally. The only thing that's going to be kind of difficult for you if you use a cast iron is that's really heavy. Even though this is technically like a cast iron, it's not heavy. It's very light. You can really use any pan. If you use stainless steel, you're just going to need probably more oil, and again, really high heat. That's probably one of the most important things. This is one of the nice things about a wok. You can flip it like that. So smoky in here. That's why you have the fan on normally.
Someone had asked, where do you get a good wok from?
You can get this wok online. Go to Amazon and type in traditional Japanese wok. What you want to look for is where it's welded like this. Go to any Asian grocery store, they usually will have it as well.
And Benji, before you do all your cooking, did you season your wok before, or?
Yes. So the question was, can they hear you? Yeah. Seasoning the wok is important. Some woks these days come seasoned, but I did season my wok.
How do you season your wok? What do you use?
I use, I actually like to use animal fats myself, but part of preparing your wok is you want to burn off all the stuff that's on it, because sometimes when they're manufacturing it and delivering it, they do add stuff to it. So what I do to burn it off is I use lots of salt. I basically cook it on there.
Brittany Mitchell asked, what are the sauces we could use if we don't have any of your special sauce?
Oh, well, teriyaki sauce. If you don't have like a yakisoba sauce, use teriyaki sauce. But they sell yakisoba sauce, I think, oh yeah, right here, in the Asian grocery stores, just like this. Literally it says yakisoba sauce. So I like to use an actual sauce versus the powder myself. All right, almost done here. I like the caramelization, so it looks like it might be a little burnt. It's not, it's just the sugar is caramelizing. That's flavor. Put the rest of that other packet that I was using. My teriyaki sauce. This is really called tare. I don't know for sure, but I feel teriyaki sauce was influenced by the original tare, which is for yakitori in Japan. Might even be like a loose translation. Turn off your heat. All right. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Judy's gonna love that. All right, you guys, so I'm gonna do more live streams. Subscribe for more cooking.